Okay, I guess we're going to get started. Hello and welcome to our webinar tonight. We're so excited to have Sherry with us again tonight, sharing more of her tips and secrets about teaching healthy cooking classes, with tonight's focus being bringing your business to the next level with corporate lunch and learn cooking classes. If you have any questions during the webinar, just please type them into the Q&A area you'll see on your screen. We are going to disable the chat button so we can communicate by the Q&A, and we're going to try to get to as many of your questions by the end of the webinar as we can. You'll also want to make sure that you stay until the very end of this webinar because Sherry has a very special announcement for you at the end. And if you do happen to want to listen again or maybe share this with somebody else that you think might benefit, we are going to be recording tonight's session, so you will be able to get that recording later. Now I'd like to introduce our speaker tonight, which is Sherry Mraz, better known as the Cooking Yogi. Sherry is a holistic health coach, a yoga instructor, a cooking instructor, as well as an author and speaker. She is a graduate of the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, and she served as a mentor on their staff since 2009. She's certified through Teachers College, Columbia University, and by the American Association of Drugless Practitioners, and she's also a member of the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. Sherry is also certified as a corporate wellness coach. I know I'm excited to hear what Sherry has to share tonight, and I know you are as well, so I'm going to now turn it over to the Cooking Yogi.
Well, thank you, Barb, and thank you for all your support. And boy, when you introduced me, I got tired just hearing all that. And now opening a wellness center, adding to the list, so it's getting longer, and it gets interesting. Okay, so tonight we are going to talk about the perfect cooking presentation for doing a lunch and learn. I had to put a little humor in here. You could see the people on the left look a little happy, the people on the right not so. So I think it's very important, and I'm very much about making it fun for people. I always say people learn better when they're having fun. If you want to teach a child how to do something, you know, maybe you sing a song or, you know, you just make it so that it's memorable. And when it's a dry presentation, I'm not sure that people are grasping it. So that's why I love doing cooking classes, because I think it really gets people excited and happy. So, making a difference in corporate. Clearly, you could see there the person's eating their lunch at their desk, and I think there's an awful lot of that that's going on in corporate. So we get to make a huge difference here by getting into their space, talking to them about, you know, stepping back. They don't need any more stress. We're there to teach them ways to create some simple plans that will start to really change their life. And don't worry about if you're not really a corporate person, or maybe you got out of corporate and you say, I never want to go back. It's the perfect place to be then, because we're not looking to do corporate, we're looking to make a difference. Be yourself. Don't try to make it all corporate-y presentation and dry it up. Just be yourself. Some of the things we're going to cover tonight are your why, how to actually get some corporate jobs, what corporate can do for you, the key elements of every lunch and learn, important topics to cover, coming up with a contract for your program, and making money, how much to charge, and build upon your programs. So, your why. Maybe you're sitting at the computer all the time, wondering why you're not growing your business. So this is a great way to grow your business, because you're getting out in front of people. You want to actually get to work. You want to get out of frustration, add more clients. Who doesn't? You want to do what you love. You didn't go to nutrition school or get certified in corporate wellness, whatever your thing is. I mean, I know we have yoga teachers, massage people that actually want to get into people's, either their homes or their companies, and make a difference. This is your passion. You want to create a program that actually works for people, making money for yourself and changing lives, getting to use your special talents. So this is me. This is my why. Other webinars that we've done, I've had a picture of my family, and clearly that is a huge part of my why. But this is me in my yoga zone, and I wanted to share that side so you know that really, even though it's corporate, like I said, you want to be yourself. I'm all about helping people to create a different mindset, mindful eating. And you wouldn't think that would be something that maybe corporate, is looking for, but they are. So we all have a story. The best way to start to engage with people is to tell your story. And I think every single one of you, as soon as you start telling your story, you're going to start building your business. So when I lived up north. I was a yoga teacher for, before I went to nutrition school, had been a yoga teacher for 4 years. It's been 11 years now that I've been teaching yoga, maybe 12, I guess. But when I was teaching, I taught a lot of yoga. So I was all over the place and built up quite a following. So when I first started trying to build my health coaching, my nutrition business, I just told everyone that was in my class about my new career, and they just signed up. I really never gave it a second thought. If I had been overthinking it and gotten nervous, I probably wouldn't have signed them up. But I just assumed if they showed an interest, they were going to sign up, and they did. So then there was a change in the story. I moved down south. And when I say I moved down south, my business also went south. Everything went south. So I needed to figure out a way to get back to work. So I moved into an area I really didn't know anybody. And I decided to do what any rational business person would do. I rented an office. And I paid my rent every month. Luckily, it was a very small, cute little office, and I was able to do some private yoga and some classes. But the rate of people signing up was not particularly pretty. And I ran an ad in a paper. Wouldn't that make sense? I ran an ad in a paper for a free consultation. That's what my school had told me to do. And so I had a lot of action. A lot of people were coming in that early first few weeks, but they were looking to pick my brain. So I do not ever do free consultations. Now, I know that's not what we were here to talk about tonight, but if you can write down that in your notes, I don't like doing that. If you're going to do like a breakthrough session, you can do like 15 or 20 minutes, just get to know them, let them tell you why they are interested in coaching. Then you can go into like a full health history if you want to do that later. My friend Kathleen Legris, I don't know if she's on here, she does a fabulous free handout for breakout sessions. You can check it out on Health Coach Solutions. That's her website. Anyway, back to me. Sorry. So how was I going to build my business? I decided, well, there's a green market down the street. Maybe I'll just go do a cooking class over there. So I did that, and there was like 15 people that showed up. And then I went and did a class at an art studio, and I just started going around, and little by little, people started to get the buzz out, the word out. So it's cooking classes, I say it all the time, is the greatest way to get in front of an audience and get your message out. It's not going to happen at a computer. So that's why I'm sharing this story with you. So hopefully you will follow my lead on that. So you want to get working. Just like I said, you want to have other people. Wouldn't it be great if other people could help you grow your business? And how about getting free advertising? Now, on our past webinars, I talked to you about getting free advertising through local publications and different ways to get it. But here's the beauty of corporate. All you have to do is get that job, the corporate job, and they're building your business now because of all the employees. Those employees are basically a captive audience. So if you can build your business, you can get in there, you're going to have all those bodies that are potential clients, and you don't have to market your class. They do it for you. The key thing to get your corporate jobs is to talk to them about benefits. I'm giving you this list right here. This is pretty much like your key focus. Don't be worried when you get there that you're not going to know, present it right, or you're not going to have like ROI, return on investment. Like really and truly, it's almost a no-brainer. Their people are tired. Their productivity is down. A lot of them are sick. They're overweight. Maybe they're not able to concentrate. So you want to talk to them. The logistics here is you want to talk to them that you have the ability to help them lower their health care costs by having healthier employees. And a lot of these companies now get, if they bring you in, they get a reduced price on their insurance. So it's really, the world, luckily, or our country, is starting to really reimburse a lot more for alternative. So you may want to bring that point up to the company to have them check with their healthcare provider. Increased productivity is obvious. Increased employee retention. By them being happier at work, they're probably going to stick around. Reducing the employee absenteeism, improving their health, they're going to show up to work. Improved morale. If they get together, and the next thing is creating that fun family team spirit, when they get together and do things like this, cooking classes, and everyone's having a good time, it creates camaraderie, and then there's just this happy lightness that occurs. And what is the most important thing you can do for your health is have a good attitude. So just by increasing the company morale, it's worth them bringing you in just for that. Key elements of a successful class. Clearly, we've gone over this before. It's no different than being in front of a group that's in a home or at a community center. It's basically the same. You want to engage them, answer a need, keep it simple, drop in the education, make it profitable by talking about your work. But we're going to go into that more in a little bit later. You have to get that cleared, and we're going to go into that because you're not presenting. That's the only thing that's different. You're going to have some ground rules. You're there. You see the sign behind my head there says groundbreaking ideas. This cooking class is groundbreaking for you. You get your foot in the door. And then you're going to work with HR to determine which direction they're going to go with you. Oh, there's that clock. So some of the topics that you can cover, I love that little clock because everybody's stressed out and short on time. So I just put a list of some of the top topics that you would present: nutrition for busy people, eating clean, information overload, how you eat, eating to reduce stress, eating for energy, brain food, eating on the run, healthy snacks and lunches, talking to them about pre-planning their meals, letting them know that failing to plan is planning to fail. We always say that. So I'm going to spend a little time here. So you're going to, you want to get in the door, and you want to get invited back. So you want to do a lot of the groundwork before you even get to the company, which means you're going to, the best thing to do is ask some people who you know, friends, family, maybe an old job. Do they know anyone that knows a company that's looking to improve or bring in some wellness? Or even just saying, bring in some cooking classes and the list that we just covered. Make it fun. Talk about the benefits and make it fun. So just pull out a couple of the benefits and a couple of fun facts and stick with it. Create your little elevator pitch. And then you're going to make a phone call. You're going to, a phone call or an email, and you're going to reach out to that company. And you're going to say to them, hey, I have this series of cooking classes. I would love to present it at your place. Your employees are going to love it. It's a very fun day. And mention the benefits, and then let them respond. Now, you're going to need to follow up with once you get an HR person and you have that contact, that's who you're looking to get. You're looking to get the HR person. And once you get that HR person and you make an initial email or phone call, then you're going to follow up with a proposal. If they ask you to come in, that's great. You're going to go in there and you're going to bring a portfolio. It doesn't have to be fancy. It's just your bio, your brochure, anything that you can put together that looks polished. If you're putting together a folder, I highly recommend you buy those like really heavy stock folders. And if you're printing brochures, I recommend you take them to either like a Kinko's or something and have them printed up on nice stock paper, unless you have the ability to do that on your own. Just upgrade it a little from what you would be doing for your regular classes. And then you're going to tell them that you have handouts that you're giving to people with the benefits, and you have recipes, and ask them, once you have all this determined, so there's this step-by-step process. You get in the door, then you have a proposal letter. You're going to make sure that you know whether you can do the newsletter sign up, whether you can hand out the survey. And then you put all those things in your contract and mention to them about having other programs, what you have, so that you have it predetermined before you even get there, that you're going to know if you're going to present, like I said, the 6-month program, whatever it is that you can get them to sign up for. So let me just run you through a typical, I don't have slides on this, sorry. So you're going to let them know that you're going to have a handout at every class, whatever you do, and let them know that you're going to be, hold on one sec, sorry. I forgot I had this one. Okay, steps to proceed. So here you are again. You're doing your pitch, your consultation, you have your portfolio, your proposal, your single class or your series. You want to ask for a deposit. So as I said before, the cost is usually 200 to 600 is your window. Get that on an invoice and ask them for a deposit. You can do either 50% or ask them for $100. I think 50% is pretty standard. And then it's payable. Most companies take a lot longer to pay than if you're dealing with the regular public. So you just ask them what their terms are. You want to make sure that it's not more than net 30, and just as long as you're asking, they're going to know you're up on it. Most of them are going to ask you for a W-9 form. W-9 is just a generic form. You can get it online. I actually put them in my business kits. But if you have a company, you're putting your company name on there and your tax ID number. If you don't have a company, you don't worry about it. You put your personal name and you put your social security number. It's going to a company. You don't need to be afraid. They need it they're going to issue you a 1099 at the end of the year. So you're the expert. You want to get known as the expert. You're going to let them know that you're going to be sharing the recipes, but really, really sharing a lot more about getting off of the processed food, the artificial foods. They may have to even revisit their vending machines, maybe their cafeteria. So that's all stuff that you may need to determine, obviously, before you get there. You're not looking to change the company overnight, but you want to make sure that you are making an image and you're getting that crack there so that it starts to open their awareness. That's all we can do, is bring them the awareness. So I know we're going to have a lot of questions at the end because I really made this a very short presentation. But for every single corporate program, you want to go in there, you want to be polished, you want to dress professional. Maybe you have a chef's coat, an apron. I don't think you're going to be wearing a suit or anything, even though it says, it's corporate. It's not that you dress like that. I usually wear a chef's coat to do corporate. And then you're going to, you want to, again, have a signature program. So if you have your recipe, your handout, and if they have to be really nice, you want to have them where you can put your logo and your contact information on them. So on here it says know how to promote. By that, I don't mean promote as in getting press release or the advertising like we're normally talking about. Knowing how to promote is yourself. You have to have a really nice, your image has to match up with your presentation. So for me, I'm usually presenting mindful eating. So I create programs that go around that. The most classic programs, again, which I mentioned, are the meal prepping, eating for energy, their survival guide. So, but if you're a raw food person, then that's okay. You can go in there and talk to them about that and say you're going to teach them to be a lot more plant-based, to improve their health. Be true to who you are. So again, you want to drive them to your desired outcome, whatever you've predetermined with HR, the program that you're leading them to next, and make money by charging. I see a lot of health coaches out there who are just changing their prices or nervous to charge. That's why I think corporate is the greatest answer for health coaches, because it's standard. you know, and when you go into corporate, you can put the ball in their court first. What is your budget? And then let them answer. If they come back and say, oh, well, $100, then you have to make a determination. You would say, well, my classes normally for corporate start at 200. If you feel, or that they're not going to meet you there, then you say, okay, so, you know, maybe I can swing this one at like 150, but you're going to ask them to reimburse you for food. Whenever you have your standard set amount in your mind, but you have to be willing to sway a little here. I just did a class at a rehab of all places. They're actually an interesting crowd because there was a lot of interesting questions, but some of them have huge budgets and some of them don't. So I normally would never go and do one for less than $250, but it was sort of a easy class because I kept it to one. And that's the other thing with corporate. Don't go doing full meals. I would just stick with one, like great big healthy salad that has like things that you cook. So you get the smell factor going. But you want to keep it as simple as you can, and then you're going to drive them to, you know, just try to get them to come up to your range. But if you can't, then you make the call if you're willing to go for a lower price. I threw this in here because you can see that's me on the bottom right. And this is my friend, Lisa Kelly. She owns Kelly Wellness Consulting. And this is a program that I trained at for corporate wellness. And I'm one of her associates. And so if you don't need to be certified in corporate wellness to do this, if you feel that you want to take it a step further, because it's fine to go and do 1, 2, 3 classes, sell them one of your programs. But if you're looking to do like real corporate work and create campaigns, great school to go to because you're going to learn how to create a 12-month campaign. So my goal is to help you succeed doing healthy corporate cooking classes. And the best part is that I've done all the work for you. So this is what I put together for you for this package. I've put together a coach's outline with all the talking points. So you also have a flyer for a health and wellness workshop. Again, when you meet with HR, you may or may not use that flyer. I've provided it for you so you can send it in to them, email it to them, and that would be a great way for you to let them know. Put that in your proposal that you have the flyer, because that flyer will start to, they can do like an email blast or something, or post it all over their company to build up the excitement for the class. So this particular class is called Nutrition for Busy People. Get the real scoop on what clean eating can do for you. There's a benefits handout and a recipe, and every thing in the package is completely brandable. But the best part of all is the business package. So I put together a feedback survey for you, which walks the employees through how they felt about the class, and it can work long range also if you're doing a series, if how their health has improved over the course of time working with you. There is the show organization tracker, which is the same as keeping track of your contact information and recipe and packing, the same as doing any show. This doesn't really change for corporate. A shopping list for your food shopping. And again, I provided a newsletter sign-up sheet. However, you want to, I'm going to keep reminding you that you don't want to ever go to corporate and just start collecting emails and and pitching your stuff, you want to have that cleared. It's very important that everyone's on board on the same page. I have provided a corporate pitch letter. So it is changeable. It gives you a very good starting point. And there is a proposal with a contract. Everything's spelled out. All you have to do is fill in the blanks. And then I provided you with a corporate invoice. So you look nice and professional. You just determine the date, the amount of time that you're presenting. Usually, clearly, you want to keep it, unless there's an extenuating circumstance, it's an hour because they're at work. So you want to remember that. You're usually going to get there at 11:30, set up, 12 o'clock it starts. Now, I'm giving you this ballpark. You're going to determine that with them, but it's usually like about a half hour set up. You're there for an hour, and then clean up, you're done. So you're going to put the time and what you're providing on that invoice. If you've taken a deposit, clearly you send them an invoice for the deposit and then an invoice at the end with the terms on it. You can just add that. And I provided you with a blank W-9. I also am providing you with a Facebook group support group, and this is where everybody is communicating with, if you're doing classes, if you have questions. Next week, Monday night at 7, I do a 1-hour live coaching call, and if you can't make it, then you're going to be able to get the recording of it right in that Facebook group. So this is the special. This kit normally costs $197 for all of that, the business stuff and your brandable handouts and recipes. And I have reduced it for half price. It's $97. And I added a bonus to it. I use a tracking sheet with my clients. This one has been designed for corporate. So it helps them to keep track of their exercise. They have a place to put their goals on it. There's a food journal on it. They can put their weight if they desire. I have on the sheet that it's optional because I don't want people, I don't recommend people fixate on that. And then there's a couple of boxes on the chart for them to fill out on how they feel and how they're doing with their goals. So that is something that you would put in your packet when you go to do your proposal and show that to corporate and say, this is the way you want to provide that to their employees as an extra bonus for them to be able to track their progress. So this is everything that's included. Again, your coach's tools, your handouts, recipes, everything has this theme. You can see on the bottom right, there's actually a series of 3 flyers, but that nutrition for busy people is just the one package. So to make it so that you could get all 3, I added an extra bonus. So you have the Nutrition for Busy People for $97 on sale, half price. And then I added 2 other classes, Using Food to Boost Your Energy. And the third class is Creating a Survival Guide. It is a class on teaching them how to do meal prepping and food on the go. It's a great, great, great class for corporate. And so I have put all 3 at $197. You can do either the 1 or the 2. So single class or buying the package of 3. And just so you know, if you buy the Nutrition for Busy People tonight, then that is going to get sent to you immediately. But I've decided, because I know everybody's in overload, so if you buy the package of 3, you are going to get them spaced out. So you're going to get the second class, the using food to boost your energy next week, and then you're going to get the creating your survival guide the week after that. So you have a whole week to get through the packet, get familiar, get comfortable, hey, maybe even make a few phone calls, and then we'll be on our coaching call next Monday and in the group to talk about the rest as the package comes. So here's my super duper bonus for those who have stayed on the call. I have a juicing class. This is a full presentation. It's a whole nother kit. You get everything, the handouts, the recipes, they're all completely brandable. I sell this normally for $79. So I'm only offering it for tonight. If you order the series class, the 3 for $197, then I will send you this separately, this juice class. This is a workshop. So it actually, in essence, then gives you 4 classes that you can do at corporate. And it doesn't have to be done with the juicer. Most of the recipes are able to be done with a blender. And they say on there, if you're going to juice, or this is how you can turn it into a blended smoothie. So you don't have to worry about carrying all this apparatus if you're going to do a class. So that's it. I'm going to move back to Barb and let her go into our Q&A. I've put the link on the bottom for our sales page. Oh, and I didn't mention either, this is the first time ever that I've decided to, and it's only $97, but I decided that to help everyone out, I actually made some payment plan options. So even if you're doing the series, you can get the series at on sale for $197. Normally it's $397. So you're getting it for half price, and you can even break it out into 4 payments of $57. So really I've made it super easy and super affordable for everyone. So that is how you will get it, and everyone's going to dream big, then plan to get there. And I thank you all so much for being here and listening to our corporate cooking class. And I am sure there's going to be questions. So back to you, Barb.
Wow, Sherry, that was awesome. I enjoyed that a lot. We do have a question here. First question is saying, hi, I'm a professional chef and I love to teach private and small group cooking classes. For corporate, do you bring your own ingredients?
I do. I bring everything, but you don't have to. There sometimes, like when I did the class at the rehab, they offered to do the shopping for me, and sometimes that will work. Actually, there's a few places that I'm thinking of now that they did the shopping. I'm going to tell you honestly, and I'm pretty easygoing person. I'm not at all, I don't think, a control freak, but I just get a little bit nervous of them buying the ingredients, because I always talk also about the importance of organic. And so I like having the control over that and billing them for it, but you can have them pick it up. It sure makes your life easier. It's completely up to you.
Okay. Would you bring a little burner to put on the countertop?
Oh yeah, good question. Thank you. I didn't even go into that. Sorry. So yeah, what I always do is I buy, and you can get it at a restaurant supply. It's really inexpensive. I don't think they're ever more than like $40. I use a propane burner, and the propane burner, it's like a little can of propane that goes in there. Just please make sure you bring an extra can with you, because I made that mistake one time. You only make it once. And yeah, so it's just a little propane cooktop, and I don't recommend for corporate that you're doing a ton of cooking. You've got to keep it simple for yourself. And your goal is to have as much prepped before you get there as you can. You want to have, like, if you're going to do a, butternut squash or something, clearly it's going to all be roasted, and you're going to just tell them how to do it, and it's going to be on your recipe. It's all the steps are on everything that I provided for you. And then you're going to take that, you know, your squash or whatever, that things that take a long time to cook. If you've ever, any of you, if you're a chef, you probably or know this chef's secret is they cook things till they're almost done, and then they just cook them through at a presentation. But for a lot of these presentations, I have mostly everything totally done, except like maybe I'll cut an onion and some garlic and celery, and like just for show, I'll be cooking up some stuff, and then it smells great, and then I'm tossing in all the stuff that's already done, and they're not even really realizing it, truthfully.
Okay, great. When you contact the Human Resources Department, how long do you wait before you contact them again to get a response?
You know, I don't know that there's a real rule for that. I usually hear back. I mean, I think if someone's interested, you're going to hear back pretty quickly. And if you are, I would reach out to them a couple times. If you're not getting a response, just move on. I don't think you should waste time, because there's a lot of companies that are looking for things like this. And if you, you know, and ask people too, if you get in one corporation, ask them if they have friends. I've actually been in HR departments where they're like, oh, you know, I have a friend that also works for a you know, whatever type of company. I don't want to go and say all the names, but if they kind of all know each other, and so they'll hook me up with another name. It's always ask, even with your clients, you want to ask for referrals. Just ask them if they know anybody, other companies that are looking to, because a lot of times they, especially if it's in a field, you know, hospitals, well, you can do this in a hospital. Okay. I didn't even mention that, but corporate doesn't have to mean it's corporate. This could be, you know, at a school, it could be at a hospital, but not clearly. Hospitals have like all purpose rooms, you know, and it's a workshop. It's a great workshop for the healthcare field. Doesn't have to be just, you know, thinking like an accountant's office or a business office.
Great. That's great information. Does anyone else have any other questions before we close it out? I think we're good then.
Okay. Wow. I rushed through tonight. Oh, well, I thank you all for being here, and I'm going to just